performance is great depending on what you want. Sometimes you need to be uncomfortable to do great artistic images.
Hey y'all, welcome to episode 3 of the Takeoff. For this week, we've got Lilou Ruel from Toulouse, France, and this was an episode I was really excited to record. So I got to meet Lilou about a year and a half ago when I went out to Budapest to film Gatecrasher, and I'd been around her but never gotten the chance to actually talk or see her train, and it was amazing watching her process. I talk about this in the podcast a little bit, but she was the kind of athlete that would show up to a spot. She would immediately come up with something that she wanted to do. She would have a vision for how she wanted to capture it in her mind. And I think overall the way that she really brings her artistic sense into parkour, whether it's through her photography or through fashion, where I think she's really pushing the way that we see parkour and clothing right now, it's really amazing. So I was incredibly grateful that Lilou agreed to do her first English podcast with me. We get in and talk about everything from her video as an 11-year-old kid that went viral, which was the first time that I saw her a decade plus ago, all the way through to her journey now being a professional athlete and artist and working with some of these amazing brands and coming up with all kinds of fun projects, whether it be personal or through Red Bull. So, I hope you enjoy this conversation with Lilou. She has a lot to add, and it was such an honor to have her on the podcast. Lilou, thank you for joining me so much. I'm excited to have you on. Thank you for testing your fantastic English skills. I'm not worried at all.
I'm scared.
No pressure.
So scared.
No, you're always fantastic. So I wanted to start by asking you about the first video I saw. You were 11 years old, I think. It was the Lilou 11-year-old parkour girl video that it seemed like it was all filmed in Toulouse. What was that experience like? Who filmed it, and was it your idea or somebody else's idea?
So this video, we shot it after maybe 2 years of parkour. So it's my neighbor who shot it, and it's actually my neighbor who put me into parkour. He presented me this crazy sport. He said, "You should check. You should maybe try. I think you would be great." So I tried parkour thanks to him, and then I did pretty well for like the first month, the first 1 year, 2 years. And then one day he came to me and he said, we should do a video in our hometown. So here, let's shoot for like one afternoon. Let's shoot your skill and let's post that on YouTube show. So we shoot for one day, and just like that, like no, so chill, like no, just like that. And we posted it on YouTube, and then bang, it
blew up.
Went viral. It went viral. And I remember every like parkour like star, every like biggest parkour people were commenting on the video, and they were like, "This is the future of parkour. She's amazing. Wait for like 5 years, she's gonna win all the competition." And I was like, "What? That's insane."
No pressure.
No.
I remember when I saw it, I had kind of the same feeling because there were a few parkour kids, and I saw videos of younger people, but then they would disappear. Like you'd see a video and it's like 10-year-old doing parkour, or 9-year-old girl does parkour, and you're like, oh, I can't wait to see when they're a little bit older, and then they would go do something else. And I think that my favorite part of the video, also, it's insane that you filmed in one day. Like you were doing cork, double side flip on trampoline, gainers, like all of these things that there were maybe 3 or 4 adult women in the community who could do those tricks. So the fact you did it in one day is wild. But the coolest thing is that, yeah, I look now 10 years later and it's like, okay, you have actually delivered, I think, on kind of what people were hoping to see. And not that the expectation is like, okay, you have to do parkour forever, but it's really cool to see
Mhm.
somebody who was at such a high level and then you've only gotten better, which is
Thank you.
amazing. Yeah, is your neighbor Nico Flo?
Yeah, yeah, Nico Flow 12. It's
Nico
him.
Flo 12.
Uh-huh.
Did he inspire? I mean, so for the listener who maybe doesn't know, they've probably seen Nico doing some really cool tricking
For sure.
adjacent parkour. Yeah, his touchdown and air awareness with the boxes in his garden, insane.
Yep.
Did he inspire your style a lot when you started?
I mean, it would be a lie to say no. We've been training a lot, especially when I start. And we were basically just training in his garden on some pallets.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, during whole days, we were like just finding some weird movement and training on those pallets to find the a cool line to do because yeah, we like imagine you have only one garden with like 4 or 5 pallets, you don't have many possibility, but that's how we I think I got my creativity and my desire to maybe search for uh fluidity and tricky movement. And I think this is this is why my movement is like that today. It's mainly because of Nico. And
Mm.
yeah, for sure. Especially when it's your first years of training. I think like those first year are very like the most important and the most it will influence everything after.
Yeah,
So
it builds a
yeah,
foundation. Yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Um
really interesting, like the restriction of only having a few things. I think in a lot of art, and I want to talk later. We were joking before we started recording that if we get too philosophical, we might switch into French, but we won't go there yet. But I think another thing that I really respect about you is I see you as having one of, I think, the most interesting artistic visions in the community right now between your photography and fashion and videography. Um, but I
Thank
think
you.
in art, in a lot of situations, having restrictions actually helps you get more creative. So it's interesting
Yeah.
that, yeah, you felt like that. Did Toulouse have any outdoor spots, or is it a little bit more kind of low key?
There is some good spot, but I think during the first years of training, I was not enough confident to go on those concrete spots, and it was far away from my house. My parents were not too comfortable with me doing parkour. Um, so yeah, I was basically training in the gym and in my garden and in Nico's garden, and that was it. And maybe like one day per month I was training outside, but no, that was basically just in the garden. And I got this what's the name? Scaffolding.
Hmm.
This big
Like the
scaffold,
bars.
yeah, in my
Yeah.
garden. I don't know how, but yeah, I brought this scaffolding in my garden, so I was able to do like really cool stuff and doing bars and everything. So yeah, that was it. And for sure, restriction is like one of the best way to get creative. And I think about Pasha, who went like
Hmm.
he's he's doing, I don't know how to say, but um I don't know.
Did you see his tire video and his bar
Yeah,
video? Like the old, those are the ones that I think of. It's like two
exactly.
minutes on one tire and
And
yeah, infinite opportunity.
he spent so many hours like looking at those tires and bars and trying to find like movement. And yeah, that's, I think he's now so good because of this for sure.
Yeah. Well, one thing I also love about your style, and you see this in competition, which I'm glad that I love watching you compete. I was sad that you didn't get to do KOTC this year because I think your line 2 years ago to me was one of the best competition lines I've ever seen in a women's division, but just in
Wow.
general, I thought that line was really, really fun. And I think your energy when you compete,
Mm.
it's like from the outside, you're serious. Like it's clear that you take it seriously, but you also don't look like
Mhm.
you hate yourself if something goes wrong.
Yeah,
And I think I respect that a lot because I struggle in that situation to have fun and also to take it seriously. But I think in competition, what is very cool is your style is really connected. And I think a lot of people you see like trick, run a little bit, trick, run, and with the FIG competitions, it kind of encourages that style even more now. But it sounds like even when you started, when you only have a few obstacles, it's like, okay, well, the easy way to make things better is to kind of work on the transitions. So do you feel
yeah,
like that also helped you build better transitions?
for sure. 100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the the way the way of doing parkour with transition is so much enjoyable than just doing big tricks, big tricks, big tricks. Even if it's maybe more impressive for outside people, or maybe more um I don't know. You can be proud of doing one big tricks, but
Mm-hmm.
moving like water and having like a really smooth line, not even with big tricks, but I feel like when you find a line where everything is perfectly connected, it's like you're in the flow, like you're in the zone. And
Yeah.
that's what I'm looking in competition, in training, and in general. It's to, yeah, to be water, Bruce Lee. Yeah.
The classic. The classic. So you had Nico when you started. Who else, when you were younger and starting out, did you look to for inspiration? Who are some of your favorite athletes?
um I would say, yeah, for sure, Damian Walters.
Oh,
I don't know
okay.
if, yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
That
So,
makes sense with your stunts now, too.
uh-huh, uh-huh. So yeah, Damian, who I think he was an old gymnast
Mm-hmm.
who then start parkour and stunt, and he was so good. I watched all of his like video probably 10 times when I start parkour, and yeah, I think this was my main inspiration. Also with Katy McDonnell for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and Sydney Olson, but I would say maybe more Katy. I was watching all of her YouTube videos, and yeah, I wanted to be like her. Like, eh, she was the
That's
queen.
yeah, she had definitely there was a period where I think she was making the most content also,
Yeah.
which helped. And you had athletes who were big in competition like Sydney and Lucy Romberg, but Pam Forrester also, but they didn't
Mm-hmm.
make a lot of YouTube stuff. They were, and that was a lot of times like before Instagram was so big. So I feel like Katie was really sharing a lot of her training, which was cool.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Also
Yeah.
Lucy. There is this one video, Tempest video, where she does the first congainer from a woman, and this video is like, it's such an amazing video. And
Yeah.
because of this video, I wanted to be the second woman to do congainer. But yeah, Lucy also.
Yeah. Are you the second, or did anyone else get there
I've
before you?
I think I'm the second, but
I think
there
so
is
too.
such a big gap between the one Lucy did and mine.
Hmm.
It's like almost, I don't know, 8 years. Yeah,
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, and she did like roll bomb, double cork. That's the true beauty video. That's really crazy.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. No, I do think that for some of the stuff, I know that she had mats for warm up. I don't think that she used mats in any of the like final shots. So some people maybe are like, but I think, if you're preparing safely and then you do it on hard ground, it counts. That's sick.
Yeah, it counts. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So did you feel pressure from maybe when that video came out and you were 11 to when you started competing? Like, what was your first big competition?
Air Whip 2017.
Oh, that was like you, Elise.
Yeah.
Was Miranda in
N-
that one as well?
No.
Okay.
Podium was um Elise, Sydney, and me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember that competition. That was when Elise did roll bomb and double
Yeah.
side, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. That one I remember being like, oh shit, this is the future of the sport with Lilou and Elise up here. Like, so
Yeah.
sick. Did you feel a lot of pressure going into that?
Um, During the competition, yes, like a nightmare. So much
Mm,
pressure. It was my first competition, so too much pressure. Um, but the thing is, I was not even um supposed to do the competition because I don't know if you remember, but you needed to upload a video and if you're good, if the video is good enough, then you're qualified. So one guy, one friend said, let's do a video for Airwhip. Like you can do it. And I said, no, there is no way. Like this is the best in the world. There is no way I could be qualified. And I don't know, like, we did this video and like 2 weeks later I go into my emails and then I see Lilou, you're qualified. Oh shit. So yeah, first international competition I'm qualified to. So I got with my dad and I ended up in third position, which is crazy. And I was 14 at the time.
wow.
So yeah, um, good first experience, but very stressful uh, because for me it was I was good at parkour, but for me it was only like a side, like a passion.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was going to school. Uh, I was 14 years old. It was just a sport. I was not seeing any um like future or any.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Career. Yeah.
yeah. No, I was good, but that's it. But for sure, this competition gave me even more motivation and yeah, even I wanted to train even more to start uploading on social media. Yeah.
Yeah. I was very happy to see that was the start of, I think, kind of the generational, I don't want to say takeover, but I think there was like a shift from Sydney and I think like Renee and some of the people who competed and trained parkour, but it was different, I think, for many of them. Maybe Sydney, because she still is such a goat athlete, like competes at such a high level, but a lot of the athletes before, they were just training on the streets and then it's like, oh, a competition is happening, I guess I'll participate, but it wasn't structured and I don't think there was like such a focus on developing skill. And I
Mm.
remember seeing you, Elise, later, Miranda and Nene and some of the other athletes that have now become like the best in the sport, the focus on, okay, I'm going to do double cork, and watching, you and Noah and all these athletes just drilling these things that were kind of crazy ideas 10 years ago. I do think that that's a really cool thing, and I want you to tell me if I'm wrong. It seems like you really train as an athlete. From my perspective, you have a very cool mix of like, you're very clearly an artist, but then I also watch like your preparation for manpower, and you just spent a week doing some ankle recovery in Austria, and you're down to lift and sprint and do all of these other things. Do you see yourself as an artist or an athlete more?
Ooh, uh,
Or both?
I think both, even if it's hard to consider yourself as an artist. I feel like it's such a big.
That's very French of you to say.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm an artist. Maybe I have the mindset of one, but um, yeah, it's a hard question. But yeah, probably both. Because I'm not a very competitive person, even if it doesn't look like. But I was never into competition, into the feeling of being against other. Uh, I would rather go to a jam or to a big training and just share our passion all together. But being against someone is not something I really enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like I need to do some competition to, even for myself, to prove that I'm still at like the top 5.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not something that like give me I don't know what to say.
Yeah, it seems to me like when you compete, there's some people who it looks like they train for the joy of competing.
Mhm.
And I think when I see you compete, it looks more like a show. It looks like you're kind of bringing your style and making it visible, because competition, I think for people outside of parkour, a lot of times they look to a competition and they're like, oh, who are the best people, or what is parkour like now? And so it creates visibility for somebody like you. But I also really respect, as also somebody who is not really that competitive and doesn't enjoy it, I respect that so much of your time, it seems like, goes into the artistic projects and the
Mhm.
photography and just day-to-day training. Do you have a favorite event or jam that you've been to?
I don't know.
Maybe an
Um,
easier question. Are you going to any events or jams coming up that you're excited for?
OMFG is insane. Insane because you know it's gonna be huge. You know there are gonna be a lot of people, so many like different spots. So yeah, OMFG is such a cool um evolution of parkour events, I think.
Yeah.
Um
It feels like a music festival. It's like
yeah,
an experience. Yeah.
exactly. Yeah. And KOTC starts doing one of their competition during OMFG, so that's really nice. I would say the KOTC competition are really fun, especially the one in Italy, because it's not just a competition, it's one full week with your friends doing some cliff jumping competition, eating pizza, going to so many spots a day to just train. And then the last day of the week, it's the competition. But the idea to just enjoy one week and then at the end you have the competition, I feel like it's such a cool way to enjoy the parkour more than
Hmm.
being like so stressed for the competition. And this is exactly the type of event I like. And unfortunately, I injured myself during the one in September. But if every competition could be like KOTC Italy, that would be so much better. I did the FIG competition for 2 years,
Mm-hmm.
and this is the type of competition I don't like, because it's really competitive, and there is no, I don't feel like there is moment where you can really share parkour with other competitors. It's just like you need to do your run, and yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't know what do you think about FIG competition, but it's not the
I
same
I
vibes.
won't I won't talk too many bad. I mean, I'll personally say like I understand the motivation of the people who compete in FIG, having been a poor parkour athlete for many years. I understand the appeal. It feels very disconnected from the culture of parkour to me. And I think that's just because the people organizing it are disconnected from the culture of parkour.
Mm-hmm.
So it makes sense. To me, it doesn't really. I love seeing Ellis do crazy shit
Oh yeah.
on the FIG competitions and Nene do triple full and all these things. I think the format sucks. I think it's pretty lame, and I don't really think it adds anything to our sport at all. But if people get a little bit of money that they can use to pay rent,
Yep.
I wouldn't compete in it. I think it's bad overall for our sport, and I'm happy to say that and argue with people who maybe disagree. But yeah, I won't talk badly about any of the athletes who do it because I'm not in their situation. So I guess I mean the KOTC seemed great. I love how having an event at the end of a week, and I think OMFG is like this as well because they have a competition, but it's rolled into the culture of the sport. Like you said,
Yep.
it's less like, this is the whole focus of the week, and it's more like we're bringing a bunch of athletes together. Um, and Red Bull in a lot of ways during different versions of Red Bull was like that. Like the film one in Greece. I remember in Kuwait they did the video competition in 2013 or 14. That was more, yeah, it felt like it was just very culture
Mm-hmm.
inspired, which was cool. What so here and now I want to get a little bit more into your artist side because I think the way that you see things is really fascinating. And I know you've gotten to do some very cool video and photo projects. And I asked you about competition and events. You did a really cool video shoot in Los Angeles with Marcus Gustafsson and Didi.
Mm-hmm.
That seemed like a really awesome project. I guess my question is how was it to do a shoot that focused more just on kind of the aesthetic and the feeling of parkour? And then do you have any other favorite projects that you've gotten to work on in the last few years?
Okay, so this project in LA, I need to say that story because
Yeah,
it's
please.
it's so interesting. So we were in Astipalaya for the Red Bull Out of Motion. It was the after party after the competition, and I was talking to Lucy and Nico. So Nico is the guy who deal with Red Bull free running, and so we were talking, and then Nico said, "Okay, I can see your artistic side. I can see that you're very interested in traveling the world, doing some project. If tomorrow you send me an email saying, 'Can I come to LA to do a project with Didi and Marcus?' I will buy your tickets and then we'll shoot something there." So the day after, I sent an email, and Nico, yeah, it was Nico and Frosty, and yeah, they just bought my tickets, and I went to LA and we shot this crazy parkour slash fashion video. The idea was
It
to shoot something different that has never been before, never seen before, something not focused on the tricks and the performances, but more on the camera movements, the clothes, the uh, l- links between nature and movements and and fabrics and everything. So we try to bring parkour into some other world, and especially with Didi. Didi is such a deep athlete, and he's very interesting personality. So having him on this project was yeah, was amazing. So we shot this. We contacted they contact a brand, so we had more budget, and yeah, that's basically it. We shot for 4 days just with friends, and the video is I love this video. Like, it's such a new thing we haven't seen before, so I'm really really proud of this project.
Yeah, it's beautiful, and I feel like you in your photography as well, you use fashion the way that maybe like male parkour athletes use a fisheye lens, or they change the type of lens they're using. Like, you really use your clothing to frame movement in a different way and create all of these unique shapes. And yeah, how do you think about when you're maybe shooting like a self-portrait or some of your creative stuff, how do you think about the role that your clothing or fashion has in that?
um so we have the opportunity to with parkour. We don't need anything, just shoes maybe. So
Yeah.
we have the opportunity to dress as we want, to do parkour in every spots we want, like in the forest, in the desert, outside, inside, on snow. I don't know, and everything. So it's just tools to make parkour more artistic. Um, so, and I really think that you can do the same movement, but if you have different outfit, it's not gonna look the same. So it's just tools that you can add on a project or on a tricks that will make the tricks or the project even, like, yeah, even, yeah, interesting. So when I do a simple like gym session, I will think about the movement I will try during this session, and based on those movements, which outfit I should wear today. If
I've
we go
never had that experience. I'm taking inspiration right now.
um, if we go to outside spots, for example, in my city, if I know it's like grass spots, or maybe a concrete bird, maybe a lot in the shadow, I will, for example, put a white outfit because I know it will look better on video. If we're on the grass or green, I will maybe put some colorful outfit, and everything is some details that maybe a lot of people does not even care, but really feel like it changed not everything, but a lot on how you perceive the movement and how people will look at it. So it's just
Hmm.
tools that we have the chance to use. So yeah,
Yeah, it's like a subconscious. If you see somebody in a yellow top in a grassy field, it's like, oh, they're like a flower. There's a certain association
yeah,
that it's not maybe something that they can even speak about in the moment,
yeah.
but they're like, I like that and I don't know why. Um, yeah, I guess in a way too, when you say fashion is a tool to just change the aesthetic and the way that the movement looks, I mean, I think about the old Echauffour baggy pants
Mhm.
and someone like Foskey or the Galician Urban Project guys. And then I think about how stupid I looked in those, and I could basically only wear shorts or jeans. That's it. I can only look like a random American guy. But the way that, yeah, if you put Foskey in short shorts, his movement would look completely different. And
Exactly.
his
Yeah.
style is so flowy that the fact that he wears those clothes, it combines and kind of tells its own story, which is very cool.
Yeah. And some movements are great for skinny jeans and some movements are great for like very baggy. So yeah, it's
Yeah.
very interesting to think about all of those possibilities.
Yeah. What's the hardest? I imagine if you're doing like scoot double full or double cork and you're wearing like the really baggy capri pants or flowy, like that seems like that would be difficult, but I don't know.
Difficult, but way more cooler. So
Yeah.
most of the time, maybe not, I don't know, but a lot of times I'm not comfortable in what I'm wearing. So it can be like shirts, very baggy shirts. Um, Sometimes I even try to train in loafers because it's
I've
so
seen your
much.
footwear. It's wild. Some of the stuff I'm like, is she wearing boots doing like cork swing throughs right now? This is crazy.
It's like so much cooler than like parkour shoes. It's sometimes you have like this really cool outfit and then you have parkour shoes that are not great. So yeah,
Mhm.
my dream would be to be able to train in loafers. That's my goal. But
From the
yeah.
first woman to do manpower to the first parkour athlete to train in loafers. This is
Yeah.
the next
Um
level of progression.
so yeah, I would say um performance is great depending on what you want and if you're on like a Red Bull project or something. But for some projects or idea, sometimes you need to be uncomfortable to do great artistic images or to put ideas in in real. I don't know what to say,
Yeah.
but yeah,
Yeah. I
and
like
get
that. I
out
mean,
of your comfort zone too. Always.
it's like using fashion as a weapon. I like that. You really it provokes things, and something that when I was talking to Wenson Yang from New York City, he does like director photography for brand shoots and is a parkour athlete, and he was really interested in hearing your perspective because his his take on your work is that you've almost crossed from athlete to artist, where he's like, yeah, I feel like, and I would agree with this, that I see your self-portrait work and a lot of your photography, and even just hearing you talk about fashion, your goal is not always in the content that you make, or at least it doesn't seem this way. I won't say it for you. It doesn't seem like your goal is that you want to set the bar for parkour movement in every post, but it seems like you're really trying to make people think or feel something. And I guess, how has it been? Because you have done a lot of work as well, just kind of with fashion brands. How has it been to kind of look outside the curtain of the parkour community and see the artistic possibilities that are out there?
The thing is, there is like an infinite possibilities with parkour, and this is you can do basically everything with parkour, and you can go into like um every world. You can do cinema, you can go into fashion, you can work with architectures, you can do everything because once again you don't need anything, just need you, and that's it. So there is infinite possibilities, and but to have the ideas and to get creative, I think the things to do is um to go away of parkour, in the sense of it's not just performances. I did competition, I did manpower, I did some cool performances stuff, but now I want to see parkour in a whole, and maybe go a bit further, and to take I don't know how to say, but I feel like you get creative when you take your distances, and
Mm-hmm.
you don't see limits anymore. Because when you're in the parkour, you're like, this project has never been done. Maybe there's a reason, or I don't know about dressing like that. Maybe it's too much. Who cares? Like, I maybe I'm not a parkour athlete anymore. I don't know. I don't care. I just want to do stuff that has never been done before. And for that, you need to see across. I don't know if it's, you
Yeah.
need to see bigger than
Yeah.
parkour, and you need to open doors that most of the people don't see, because they're too focused in this parkour world. But see, like, everything that is
Yeah.
um
It looks like you're absorbing so much from different genres. Like you're absorbing from fashion, you're absorbing from photography, you're absorbing from stunt work, and then you're using it all to tell a story that feels very like Lilou. Like when I met you during the Gatecrasher filming, I was just like, oh, okay, you're exactly the same as you seem from the content that you make, which I think is very cool. It's like I can see that you are, you when you would approach a challenge, I mean, like you can do any challenge, which is sick. So when you say, I don't know if I'm a parkour athlete, like you are, because I can see you do, the cap pass precisions that somebody like Hazal is working on, or doing like gate full in a line, like every kind of challenge. I just saw you, like you come in, you have this athlete mentality where you would be like, okay, I'm gonna give myself 20 minutes to warm up, break it down. And then it was like, okay, production mentality, stunt, like we're shooting. Okay, Dennis, I need you to stand here, you're gonna do this. And it was it was great, because I was like, this is so easy to work with. She knows exactly what she can do. You're not going to be like, I want to do this gain of precision, and then look at it for 4 hours and like go get a snack afterwards and not do it. So I see when you say, like, we were talking earlier about how sometimes the restriction is what breeds creativity. And I feel like in uh, parkour on like a big level, we've been very restricted in like how we tell our own story. And I think what I'm hearing you say is that you feel like it seems like you've had the freedom to look outside of the restriction now and start to pull things in to tell that story, which
yeah.
we need more and more of that in the sport. And I really love to see it. So what are your next goals? Do you have anywhere else that you're looking? Any new doors that you're opening, or genres that you're really interested in right now?
So much, so many ideas, especially right now since I'm injured. I feel like when you're
Yeah.
injured, you get so much creative because you have nothing to do. And it's, I would, I love being injured, like in a way that I have so much time to learn new things, to read, to watch documentaries, to draw, to paint, everything. To And I know that all those things are gonna inspire my way of doing parkours, and my project ideas. So right now I'm doing my 2026 to-do list project, and it's already full. But
Some people
yeah,
wait until the new year for that, but Lilu, it is what, November 17th. We're
I'm
already done with
ready. I'm ready.
2026, ready to go.
um, I, I don't want to look too far in the future because I think life is way too um, surprising. So you need to stay open to many opportunities. So, but I would say right now my main focus is going even more into fashion, like working with luxury brand, breaking those norms and rules that are not very interesting. Like, let's work with luxury brands like parkour and like Louis Vuitton would be insane because it has never been done before, and because it doesn't make sense. And I
Mm-hmm.
want to break rules, and so that would be one thing. Going more into movies is also one of my main goals. To see more parkour in movies would be insane, and I think it will come, but take some time to change stuff, and
Yeah.
yeah, and also going to some insane location all over the world, location we can't even um, imagine doing parkour on it. Like, um, yeah, that would be the idea for 2026, I think.
Callum, if you're listening, Max and Benj. I feel like Store, they're always at cool locations. I'm like, come on, fly Lilou out,
Oh,
then you can
cool.
have a they can have like a store pit escape and then just really beautiful aesthetic like random
Yes,
inserts
please.
of things. That would be really cool. I'm very interested in the high fashion. I think your perspective on it of like it doesn't make sense. That's almost what makes sense because so many of these high fashion brands are trying to find a way to communicate to an audience that like we're not about being the gatekeeper, we're about breaking the rules.
Uh-huh.
And I can't imagine anyone else in the parkour community besides you who could visually tell that story in an honest way. Like if I showed up there, they'd be like, dude, what are you doing here? But I think when you do it, it feels very natural and it's clear how much you think about what your movement says to an audience, and that's really exciting. I also really think it's a refreshing to hear your perspective on coming back from injury. So many people I think experience that in parkour, and moving is such a piece of their identity,
Mhm.
and they don't give themselves room to breathe when they're injured and explore the other things that maybe they're passionate about, like music or art, or watching documentaries.
Mhm.
And this actually ties in. So, one question I always ask is if you have a piece of media that you would recommend. So, that could be like a film, could be music, a podcast, a book. I'm very curious.
I'm watching a lot of French stuff.
I need to practice my French, so send hit me with it.
um, I don't know. The thing is, I'm watching so much different stuff. It can be um how to invest
Hmm.
to how Leonardo da Vinci paint his uh I don't know. But right now I'm watching a very nice documentary about Martin Scorsese,
Hmm.
which is so interesting and so inspiring. Uh, I don't know.
That sounds awesome.
I I don't have one specific stuff, but I would say um, keep stay open to every topics because you don't know. Maybe one day you will find a video and you will maybe listen and hear this exact, I don't know, interesting sentence that will um yeah, you don't know. So stay open to everything and try to try to get some interest in every every topics and every um I don't know how to say. Um
Yeah. Every genre, every piece
yeah,
of art. Yeah.
yeah,
I think watching documentaries, hearing other creative people speak, you see how connected everything is. The way that someone who's passionate about fashion talks, even though I know nothing about it, I can hear it and I understand that the detail and thought that they put into that is the same as the detail and thought that I see when I look at, like, oh, there's a rail that you can stride to a polecat to this other thing. Like, the way that everybody sees something is unique, but it's also very connected. And I
yeah,
think, yeah, you can find inspiration in very strange places sometimes,
yeah. And
which is great. Well,
I will recommend one book which is amazing.
the fact you have it right there says
Yeah,
enough.
it's The Creative Act, a way of being, by Rick Rubin, and
Oh yeah, the producer, right? Rick
yeah, the
Rubin.
producer. And I think everybody should read this book because it's a masterpiece. So yeah, this one.
Perfect. Well, I have one more question for you. If there were any 9 to 11-year-old girls starting parkour like you were when you and Nico were starting out, do you have any advice or things you've learned that you would share with them for the next generation of parkour athlete?
I would say to always do stuff with love and passion, because once you put love in it, then there is no chance it would fail, because you put everything you had on these tricks, on this video, on this anything. So if you start parkour at 9 or 10, I don't know, don't force yourself doing stuff that you saw on social media or anything. Just listen to your heart, and always do stuff with passion. And yeah, easy. When you understood that, it's everything is so easy.
I could not have ended things better myself. Lilou, thank you so much for such an amazing conversation. I really
Thank
appreciate it.
you.
She really opened my eyes in terms of fashion. I think that this sort of balance between artistry and athleticism is something that's coming to be a theme in these first couple of episodes, and you'll see it even more in the next couple of episodes that we've already recorded on the Takeoff. But I think that's a reflection of what parkour is, right? I think there's a constant conversation about, is parkour more sport? Is it more art? And different people approach it in different ways. And I think Lilou manages to balance those two things really uniquely. But in particular, when it came to fashion, I thought that the way she views what she wears as a tool to add something, to say something more about her line or the environment, is really fascinating and kind of uncharted territory in a male dominated sport like parkour, where I'm assuming a lot of athletes are like myself. They always just thought about their clothes as, what's functional, what's utilitarian, and what's easy to wash after your session is over and you've gotten a bunch of dirt on it. So it's really cool to hear how thoughtful she approaches, what color she wants to wear, the shapes that the cloth make. And I think that attention to detail adds nuance to her work, whether it's her photographs or her training or her video, that I really appreciate even more now. And I'm going to be looking for in the future. I'm really excited to see what she has on that 2026 goal list. She obviously kills it every single year. And despite an injury, had another amazing year of training this year. So looking forward to Lilou 2026. And yeah, thank you guys for listening. I hope you enjoyed that one as much as I did. And as always, feel free to share it with your friends if you enjoyed it. Give Lilou some love in the comments, and I'll see you next time.